The problem is that AI didn't show up quite as we were all expecting. There's a huge disconnect between what we've seen in television and in movies and read in comic books and what the reality of AI looks like. You actually interact with artificial intelligence every day, all day long. It just doesn't feel all that magical. So it's artificial intelligence that is inside of your email, that is going through, reading your messages, and determining which ones are likely to be spam, and they're sent into a different folder, and which ones are meaningful. It's artificial intelligence that on your mobile devices makes suggestions, locates where you are, tracks your whereabouts, makes it easier to use your voice to interact and to send text messages. And when you're in your car driving from place to place, it's artificial intelligence that helps power the GPS system. So we've hit an inflection point, and suddenly we've got AI surrounding us that is making decisions on us, for us, to help optimize our lives, to help nudge us toward different behaviors and actions, and quite frankly, to understand more about who we are. Artificial intelligence and the development of it is currently in the hands of just 9 companies spread between the United States and China. I think we ought to ask ourselves what the future looks like when we have just a few people working at just a few organizations whose job it is to make critical decisions that impact us all. I think it's probably time that we have a meaningful conversation about artificial intelligence as a public good, that we treat it as we do the air, where we have guidelines and restrictions around pollution, around what can be done. It's probably time that we have similar conversations for the role that AI plays in everyday life. This is a global problem. We're facing a tremendous amount of deep uncertainty, and that deep uncertainty warrants some deep questions. But we have to get to action fast. So we need to establish a new global organization. I call it Gaia, the Global Alliance on Intelligence Augmentation, which would function similarly to the IAEA, though I want to make very clear I don't necessarily conflate AI with nuclear weapons. We need some kind of global agency that's responsible for testing and auditing and risk modeling, that has both representation from the big tech companies as well as governments from around the world. And this agency needs to be responsible for enforcing global norms and standards. And most importantly, for everyday people, it's time to wake up. You need to be much more aware of who's taking your data, who's using your data, for what purposes, under what circumstances, and why. And you need to ask yourself whether or not you're comfortable with all of that going forward.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.